Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the Ukrainians have some success, and this success shows on the Dnipro River, where they were able to blow up some Russian boats. Well, this article comes from the Jerusalem Post, a Jewish media outlet, and let's get it ready. And here it is, the Jerusalem Post. It comes from today, February 1st, 2023. Ukraine sinks 5 Russian boats carrying reconnaissance and sabotage teams. A total of 18 Russian warships and other vessels have been destroyed by the Ukrainian military since the war began on February 23rd. Not that kind. I think this is maybe like the Moskva, the first one that was, and I think the only one that was major ship that was damaged, destroyed, sunk. At least 5 Russian light craft carrying, what's going on? Reconnaissance and sabotage teams were destroyed by the Ukrainian military over 24 hours. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine claimed on Tuesday. The motorboats were sunk in the island chains in the delta of the Dnipro River, where it flows into the Black Sea. In November, Russian forces retreated to the east bank of the strategic river, which bisects Ukraine and flows through several major cities. Ukrinform reported that Russia has intensified the operations of sabotage and reconnaissance teams in the area of the islands. Russian ships at Ukrainian shores. A Russian warship was sunk in the same area on January 10th by Ukrainian artillery. While it was unclear what class the vessel was at the time of the sinking, an infrared photo accompanying the announcement showed that what appeared to be a patrol boat on fire. And let's see where exactly this Dnipro River is and where the delta is. I always like to have a visual over all this. And I have here the map of Ukraine in Europe. Russia is there. Here is the Dnipro River that flows through Kiev, Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporozhye, and then Kherson. This is the delta right here. Now this is very strange, I have to admit, because here it's right in the middle of the front. I mean, on this side, on the right side of the river, right by Kherson, this belongs to the Ukrainians. They took it back. The Russians crossed over to the left bank of the river, to the eastern side, and it happened right here in the delta, according to these guys. All right, let's see the next article. Continue the article I was reading here. Russian ships at Ukrainian shores. So, following the reports of the sinking of the 5 motorboats, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry did not update its tally of Russian ships destroyed by its forces, perhaps indicating that they were too minor to count or unconfirmed. Well, obviously it was not something like this, but anyway, it was probably there were some little special operation boats, maybe inflatable or something. A total of 18 Russian warships and other vessels have been destroyed by the Ukrainian military since the war began on February 23rd. According to the Ukrainian Navy, on Tuesday there were 12 Russian ships. Were in the Black Sea on standby for combat operations. 3 of the ships were armed with calibre C to-land missiles, which the Black Sea Fleet has sporadically used to bombard Ukrainian positions. While Ukraine has little in terms of conventional navy after much of it was destroyed or seized in the Russian conquering of Sevastopol in 2014, it has defied Russian attempts of complete naval superiority in the Black Sea with they use on anti-ship missiles and naval drones. The Russian fleet has been wary about getting close to the Ukrainian shore and at times in recent months has decreased the presence of its missile boats to zero. Okay, let's see anything else, my friends from Jerusalem Post? I guess not. So, if you don't have to use them, you don't use them. So why should you come closer with those uh, Navy ships, with real, missile ships, missile carrying ships when you don't actually need them over there? You can probably launch your missiles from further away, where you could at least minimize the chances of being hit. I made a video today about Turkey, and Turkey is talking about closing the Dardanelles and Bosphorus Strait, and they will not let for the military boats. So they will not allow any other vessels, military vessels, to cross to those straits. According to a 1936 document that allows Turkey legally to do that in case of a war in the Black Sea, or something like that as we have right now. But I don't know if they closed or they just threatened. You can watch that video. I can't remember exactly. It was not like, oh, we're closing it right now. It was something warning about. They warned about closing it, which they can at any moment. I know they. I think they did it March or April last year. Anyway, I wonder for what vessels. I don't think the Russians need any more vessels, ships in the Black Sea. But I know some other countries that might would like to have their ships in the Black Sea if they didn't do it already. Because you let them come in, and after they come in, you say, hey, we stop, we close the straits after you let them come in. Okay, yeah, but we don't know that. Why we don't know that? Because certain things are unreported, if you know what I mean. Or at least they are reported, but not promoted. Because believe me, the news that we find, and you know that, the news that I go over Reuters, let's say, and Reuters has all the news get what they think should be promoted and further, given to others. That's what they do. They take it from this, they take it from here, and they say, okay, this goes, this garbage, this goes, this garbage, whatever they determine. That's how it goes. The same with any newspaper. They can cover all the news in the world. You have editors and people who make decisions. What are we going to cover today? What do you think people should learn about, or what do you think people are interested? Therefore, like I do here, I pick things of what I think is important and interesting, and I just made videos. So the same thing is with a media, the newspaper and all that. So there are a lot of reports. Maybe a report, I don't know, in Iran or in Syria or in Bangladesh about something, and you don't hear about it. It might be very important, but you don't hear about it. Anyway, the fact is the Russians, I think they have everything they need in the Black Sea at this point, which obviously is ships. The only thing that they need is just to put caliber missiles on them and let them go. They have submarines over there. They used to have, I didn't hear anything about leaving the Black Sea, some landing ships. They said large landing ships. I don't think that's gonna happen because of the multitude of sea mines that the Ukrainians just threw in the Black Sea, and those mines one day will show their teeth, not their teeth, their teeth, and that's gonna be bad for the commercial ships. So that's it. At least they had the decency to say that they did not increase the tally of the warships of the Russian Federation. Probably there was, as I said, some special operation boats that 5 people, 7 people at the most, and then blown up. Or maybe they would just use the regular machine guns. They didn't have to use howitzers or tanks or anything from the distance, or rockets or missiles or mortars. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.